Hello there, thanks for joining us at the Natural Lifestyle Show. My name is Angel.
And I'm Billy. We have Baby.
Say hi! And today we're talking about 5 natural antibiotics.
5.
Yep, and so I just want to say ahead of time that I'm not telling you not to take antibiotics. Always make your own decisions. What I'm doing is I'm telling you some natural antibiotic options. The World Health Organization says that many antibiotics are losing their effectiveness because, and I've seen a lot of doctors and a lot of talk saying that people are maybe getting antibiotics overprescribed for things that may not even be bacterial infections or whatever. But yeah, these are 5 natural antibiotics that you can choose to try if you like or not. And I'm just going to tell you the research on them because I believe that we should know about these natural options if we want to know them.
I agree. I mean, to me, going more natural is always best.
That is true, and antibiotics can be a very good thing. They can be life-saving. Make your own decisions about what you do, but I want to tell you about these 5 natural ones. So the first one is oil of oregano, and I personally think of this as like the top of the line natural antibiotic.
Okay.
And from what I've read, that would be correct because these are some. And also I want to mention this one. You should only take about 2 weeks at a time, because it's a potent thing, so you just take a break or take it as you need it. A lot of people say just don't take it indefinitely, but I've taken it and I haven't seen any adverse effects from it personally, except I take it in a pill form. I would very highly recommend you take it in a pill form because I have had a bad experience taking it in liquid, so I just want to put that out there for you.
That's right.
I take the Gaia brand personally, and I'll probably have a link on our website for that if you want to check it out there. So researchers at Georgetown University Medical Center tested oregano oil on Staphylococcus bacteria. In vitro, even smaller amounts were as effective as the standard antibiotics.
Interesting.
Yep. And so it takes over 1,000 pounds of oregano to make 1 pound of oil of oregano. So oil of oregano is a very potent stuff.
Wow.
Yep, it has 2 powerful compounds, carvacrol and thymol. They're both antibacterial and antifungal. And Dr. Axe says on his website that carvacrol has been proven to reverse or reduce bacterial infection, fungal infection, parasites, viruses, inflammation, candida, allergies, and tumors.
Wow, so you've had any of those. There you go.
Wow.
No wonder why you said that's una.
Yes, and the Journal of Medicine, a study reported significant antibacterial properties against 5 species of harmful bacteria, especially E. coli. So oil of oregano seems to me to be like maybe one of the most broad spectrum of the natural antibiotics.
And just think, we're just getting started.
Yeah. And so number 2 is olive leaf. Olive leaf is a very popular herbal supplement. And a lot of people think of it as, for antibiotic and especially antifungal. I've seen a lot of people have success, fighting fungal, especially like sinus fungal infections.
Like congestion?
Well, no, a sinus infection, because sometimes sinus infections are actually fungal and not bacterial. That's why that's why the antibiotics won't work on them.
You can tell I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not either. I'm just, from my research, I've read that. So, like I said, olive leaf does not seem to be broad spectrum, but in a study it did show activity against harmful stomach bacteria and the often resistant MRSA. So that's big news there. And as I said, olive leaf is antibacterial, antifungal, and antiviral. So that's cool. As you're seeing the trend of what I'm saying here, a lot of these are not just antibacterial. Most of them are antifungal and antiviral as well.
And that's very important to know.
It is. I mean, because that in itself is broad spectrum, because it's like spanning the spectrum from bacterial to other things,
Jump from one to the other.
Number 3 is garlic. I'm sure everybody probably equates garlic to, being
cooking.
Good. Well, cooking, but also good for being good against bugs or whatever, like sicknesses.
I just know it's good when I eat it.
Yeah, it's very tasty. I like garlic. I like it raw, I like it cooked. Yeah. And it's kind of funny when you eat a lot of garlic and you don't notice you have garlic breath, but everybody else does. Anyway, garlic is rich in antioxidants. Many studies confirm the antimicrobial properties, and it even enhanced the effects of gentamicin and reduced kidney toxicity in a study. So, obviously, gentamicin is really hard on the kidneys, and this negated that side effect.
That is interesting.
That is very interesting. It's also antifungal, and it has many compounds, but one well known and studied is the allicin, which is ALLICIN. Now, the best way to get a lot of this compound is to crush it up yourself and let it sit for a little while, because the enzyme and something else in the garlic combine together to make this, and then take it I would say maybe about 15 minutes after. I used to crush it up sometimes, put it in a spoonful of olive oil and swallow it. You probably remember those days when I used to do that.
I'd be like, oh yeah.
But that's the best way to get that. But even an aged garlic that doesn't have a lot of that in there, it still has a lot of good properties. So obviously, just like a lot of other plant compounds, there's a lot of other things that work in synergy with each other that,
I agree.
we don't even know about,
Yeah. Like I said, that's all part of learning.
Yeah. One study showed that it prevented and shortened the common cold. And a University of Maryland study says that it may strengthen the immune system. So garlic would be natural antibiotic number 3. Number 4 natural antibiotic is golden seal.
Oh, cool.
Golden seal is astringent, and it's used a lot of times for infections of the mucous membranes. And let's see, it's also used for inflammation. It contains antimicrobial alkaloids. The main one being berberine. Berberine.
Is that like a boomerang?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's also antifungal, antidiarrheal, and it kills protozoa.
Hook me up.
Yeah, hook me up. It inhibits bacteria from adhering to tissue surfaces, so that's interesting.
That is.
And the University of North Carolina study confirms its action against, once again, the normally antibiotic resistance MRSA. So these natural things work against the MRSA, whereas the conventional, man-made antibiotics aren't working.
Now, who all does that surprise?
Yeah.
It didn't surprise me. Did it surprise you? Did it surprise you?
And here's a little study I found that the Egypt Agricultural Center, I just want to say thank God something works, right?
Yeah, is that place over there in the desert?
Now I'm talking about with MRSA.
Ah, got you.
But anyway, this is a neat little study. The fish, the Egypt Agricultural Center infected some fish, which it's not cool really to infect fish, but they infected them with some kind of bacterial, and it did prove something useful here, because once they infected the fish with the bacteria, they had one group that they treated with antibiotics, and the other group they treated with golden seal.
Okay.
Well, the ones they treated with antibiotics got well. 84% of them got well, and the golden seal group, 87% of them got well. A thumbs up for the golden seal for that study. And so, that's cool. I like golden seal, and once again, I've used golden seal a few times. And as a matter of fact, I don't remember reading this anywhere, but it's just like my common sense. Told me, since I knew it was good for mucous membranes and things like that, I have actually taken the tincture and squirted a little bit in the water and used it after I brushed as a mouthwash.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know it works against all these icky things. And number 5 is vitamin C. Now,
oh, that's a surprise. How did that make the list?
Yeah. Well, see, I'm a big fan of vitamin C. I didn't used to be as big of a fan as vitamin C as I am concerning infections and things like that. I've always heard there's a lot of people who would I always remember reading there's a lot of people that would do high doses of vitamin C when they got sick, and they would always say, the people that believe in it would say it worked, But I've never really, had never really tried it. But
you didn't buy stock in it.
Yeah, well, I just wasn't a big vitamin C user. But I guess I got interested in it when I started, actually when I had something going on a while back. My mother had told me about how vitamin C aids in healing, like tissue growth and stuff like that. And since then, I've read and learned that it's true that when you have like a wound or a tooth extraction or something like that, they say to take extra vitamin C to help it heal up, to help the tissues heal up. So, and also, I believe it works very well to ward off illnesses, and I'll tell you the research here. Now, I mean, Billy wasn't surprised because if you go like to the cold and flu section, what do you see? Things with a lot of
vitamin C.
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of like a given, like if there's a little bitty ailment like a cold or something, but yet when you go into, if there's a big ailment and you go into a hospital, in this society, unless you're doing alternative methods, they don't say, hey, let's give you some vitamin C. Now, like I said, there's some alternative clinics and things that do things like IV vitamin C. But I personally think that the mainstream people should look more into that.
And they should. The thing of it is, they got to help the drug companies.
Yeah, you can't really patent vitamin C, but
because it is a natural.
Yeah, but I believe that personally, my feeling is I think it would help a lot of people.
Well, it's a natural source. Anything that's natural source, they're not going to.
Yeah, but I really believe in it, and I really wish they would. I know where you're coming from. I totally do. Okay, a group of researchers at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine in New York City found something very interesting. They found that
the guy with the funny hair?
that vitamin C killed a resistant culture in vitro, and they discovered that it could not develop a resistance to vitamin C.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what I said, wow. And animal studies tell us that vitamin C increases resistance to infection. So if somebody has a good, a good amount of vitamin C in their system, they're going to be more resistant to infections. But check this out. When you are sick or something's going on in your body, it depletes your vitamin C. So if that depletes your vitamin C, it makes you even more vulnerable. So it would make sense that if you're sick, you automatically know, number one, your vitamin C is depleted. Number two, you're only going to have an increased resistance if it's at a high level. So that automatically tells you more vitamin C.
More.
Yeah.
More is good.
Now, somebody very interesting that you probably would like to look up online, his website is peakenergy.com, P-E-A-K energy.com. His name is Thomas Levy, L-E-V-Y, and he has some videos on YouTube. He's a doctor, and he tells a lot of research about vitamin C, a lot of good information. He also has written some books, so I highly recommend that you check those out.
Information's good.
Yes, it is. And vitamin C is basically non-toxic. Your body's just going to excrete what you don't use. So it's not dangerous to you. It could cause like diarrhea or nausea. And some people say kidney stones, but I'm not really sure about that.
That's just to get rid of.
Yeah, I think so, because some people actually, I've heard them talk about a vitamin C flush, like of your digestive system. Like this guy, Dr. Levy, I remember him saying, if it's a good idea every now and then to do it just to make sure your digestive system's clean. So, yeah, I mean,
makes sense. I might try that sometime.
Yeah. So, how much is safe? Well, let's see. The U.S. Nutritional Guideline recommendations say that 2 grams is an upper tolerable limit. However, there was a study done recently where the participants received 10 grams via IV safely. So that lets you know that,
it could go higher.
Yeah, it could go higher.
Basically, we don't know how much.
And you might want to check out and Google New Zealand man with pneumonia. He had viral pneumonia, and he was in the hospital doing very poorly until his family they asked some doctors to please put him on vitamin C. And there was a lot of things that went on, but long story short, one doctor said they would try it. They did. He rapidly improved. The hospital said it was because they changed his position and not because of the vitamin C. But just like I said, look it up. And Thomas Levy, he tells about this story too. Yeah, I mean, there's I believe a lot of evidence for vitamin C as far as health.
But what position they changed? They moved him from the left to the right?
Well, no, they put him on, I think, his stomach, which, I mean, a change of position could could help the lungs to drain potentially. But he had a really rapid turnaround with the vitamin C.
Wow.
And so, I think that it's foolish not to say that the vitamin C at least had something to do with
I
it.
think that needs to be looked into.
Yeah, it does. And this man, he continues to take vitamin C because he's been on TV shows and stuff like that. He takes the liposomal vitamin C, and liposomal vitamin C is vitamin C that's by a process that's encapsulated in like a fat, so it can go right into the cell, and it's actually more absorbable than IV vitamin C. So that's something interesting to look into too. I hope you've learned something today about these 5 natural antibiotics.
I'm going to the store.
And as usual, I'll have a blog post for these, so if you want to see it all written out and the sources, because yes, I always research it and have sources, and I invite you to check those out too. Yeah. And so I hope that you've enjoyed this, and we'll be making another video very soon. And please visit our website, Living the Natural Life. Sign up for our newsletter, and we do some coaching. If you're interested in coaching, please contact us, and we can see what we can set up for that. And also, link below to Living the Natural Life, and we will see you soon.
Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.